Hello, friends and family. We are staying at the Lime Hotel. We are in the third room today that we have been in since we were there. All of them have been what they call King Premier Suites or King Premier rooms. I guess they're not really suites. But the way the room is set up, you come into the room and then there's a bathroom on one side or the other of the door, depending on how the room is oriented. And then the bathroom is separated with these like sliding glass walls. So they're kind of block off the bathroom with these glass walls, or you can leave it open, which is kind of neat. And then there's a big king bed. The rooms that we're in have two sides that are open and like full windows, and you can see out onto the bay from there. And then there's the reason that Joe picked these particular rooms is a big king bed. That's very nice. And then also there's a workspace area like that's behind the bed. So there's like a dividing wall. And then behind that, there's kind of like a little kitchenette sort of area, a convenience area, your closet, and a work table, which has been convenient for me because we got here just about the time that I needed to do month-end notes for my agency. But yeah, we've been staying at this hotel. And it is a resort. It's a pretty nice resort. I've got some feedback. I have some notes. I feel like maybe Joe and I have been talking about this. We feel like maybe it was a nicer resort a few years ago, and that there are just some things that maybe aren't being kept up with quite as well. The staff is super friendly. They're very gracious. They're very attentive to your needs. People are very, very polite and very, very friendly. Which is nice. I'm going to say that's a super nice change. You don't always get that in the United States, even in the Midwest or the Mid-South, which is known for being some of the nicer parts of the United States. And of course, Indiana, Kentucky, that area is not always considered the Midwest. Like Minnesota, Wisconsin is definitely the Midwest. And Joe and I traveled through there last summer. They were friendlier there than you get just, from random people in Indiana or Kentucky. Everybody's very friendly. We're in the third room that we've been in since we arrived. So we came in last Saturday. Almost immediately, we switched rooms. Like that same day, we really didn't even get settled. We didn't really start putting our things out because we noticed that there were some things wrong with the room. Which is actually the room that I got the most video footage of because the curtains in one of the windows didn't open and close properly, and the motor just kept running. No matter what, like even though the windows were completely shut, the motor just kept running. It was very loud. There was leaking that was happening, maybe from the bathroom in the floor above us. And so it had caused some mold on the ceiling, and then there was wet all over the sink countertop. And I want to say there was something else, but I don't remember what it is now. It's been a week, and we were barely in that room, like maybe 30 minutes we've sat in that room. So anyway, we called down to the front desk. We explained the situation. They sent a couple of maintenance people up who checked it out, confirmed, yes, it is definitely leaking. It's not just condensation. And they sent somebody up with a little cart to help us move all of our stuff to a different room. So we went from the second floor to the 8th floor, which was really nice because the 8th floor had a much better view of the bay. We are overlooking the Bay of Manila. So we had a better view. We could see further out. From the second floor, all you could really see was the construction that's happening directly across from the hotel, which was kind of a bummer, I'm going to admit. Um, we thought we'd have this like beautiful view of the bay, uh, and that is not what you see from there. Maybe it was a couple of years ago, but they started doing. I think that they're calling it like the reclamation of the bay or the bay reclamation project, but they're basically creating like an island just off of where the shoreline is right now. I've been told, I don't know if it's true or not, that I've been told that a mall is going in over there. Um, I don't know. So whatever it is, I hope for the sake of the hotel that we're staying at that it's something really nice and that they are making something really pretty to look at, because they could have had a view of the bay and now they're going to have it like right now it's a view of construction. And when it's done, they're going to have a view of some other building or set of buildings. I hope those buildings are pretty. So one of the things that comes with this particular resort is that they've got a buffet. The buffet is quite extensive. I got some video footage of that, so I'm probably displaying that now. The breakfast buffet, we went ahead and paid for the little upcharge to add that on to our stay every day. So we got the breakfast buffet every morning. We went ahead and popped for the dinner buffet a couple of times as well. We'll see if I manage to get some video footage of that to add to this, but I don't know if I did or not. But the dinner buffet, I would say, is better than the breakfast buffet. The breakfast buffet was pretty good. There was a lot being offered, but it wasn't all hitting quite the way that I would want it to, and my stomach got really touchy very early on. Probably just, I just have a tender stomach, I'll be honest. So the slightest little change makes it go haywire, and this is more than a slight change. So a lot of rich foods. So I didn't really necessarily realize that there was so much sauce involved in a good amount of the Filipino foods that are here. I thought there would be more things that were just sort of grilled with seasonings probably, but some more grilling and that type of thing. But there's a lot of sauce. Not necessarily a lot of vegetables, at least not at this buffet, at least not in the morning. So, yeah, my belly's just not been that happy. And a lot of sweet, like surprisingly sweet. There's sugar or other sweeteners in more of the food than you think that there's gonna be. And it's like some of the things that you expect to be sweet aren't as sweet as you would anticipate them being. Like, for instance, the donuts that were there on the breakfast buffet. Not necessarily as sweet as you would anticipate. They were good, mind you. I really liked them. They were one of my favorite things on the buffet. But a little milder in terms of that sweetness. But then other things, you'd have like a meat in a sauce or a sausage or like a pastry that had meat inside of it. And that meat was almost always of a sweet nature. And again, my belly wasn't always having it. So there's been a little bit of like getting used to that. Yeah. At the resort, there is also what they call Lime Beach Club Manila, which is, there's like a bayside bar club kind of area. And they have a bit of a light show. They have some music every evening when it's not raining. And there's kind of a party atmosphere. However, there are not always people attending that. So Joe and I went down one night and it was literally just the two of us. It was actually last night from when I'm recording this. And the wind was starting to pick up. You know, the storm is on its way in. So it was sprinkling just a little bit. It hadn't really started raining. But, you know, we were watching the staff basically like packing everything up. So we, you know, had a drink and like skedaddled on back to our room because we felt pretty awkward. You know, sitting out there with the club music, but watching them pack everything. Massages. So there's some nice features at this hotel that we've quite enjoyed. We only got to have 2 massages here. And that's probably all that we're going to get to have because we did have a couple of medical procedures done that, you know, we're healing from a little bit. So massages would not be a great idea now. But A, they were delightful. B, they were very vigorous, like I would say athletic, athletic massages. I had for like a couple of days a little mild bruising from the massages. And honestly, one of my big complaints in the States is that very often it's hard to get somebody to get in deep enough on my muscles for me to actually enjoy it and get the benefit from it. So the fact that this massage therapist, that this masseuse kind of gave me a very thorough working over and left some marks on me made me happy because my body needed it. So that was cool. We got 2 different types of massage. So the first massage that we got was a hot stone massage. And it was an hour and a half long. So it was the signature massage with hot stone massage. And then the second one that we got, and Joe and I did both of these together. So they had like 2 massage tables next to each other and we went in together. So the second one that we did was signature massage with foot reflex massage therapy. So they did a little bit of extra focus on the feet, although honestly, not enough focus on the feet as I wanted that day. Our feet were pretty sore from having, you know, walked a million miles in the airport just a few days before that. And then, you know, we've been doing a decent amount of walking here. I think we've been to the mall almost every single day for something. It seems like every day we need to go somewhere and pick up something because there were so many things that we didn't bring with us just to save space on our flight. That we've been going and like back and forth to the mall that's just a couple of minutes away. But that has meant a lot of walking. So I really wanted a little bit more treatment on my feet. And I feel like she spent a lot of time focused on only the parts that hurt. Like it was like she knew, like, oh, that part's real crunchy. Let me just dig into that one. And then I'm going to ignore the rest of the foot. It doesn't need anything. So I don't know. That was kind of funny. But yeah, I would have gone for massage every single day if it hadn't been for some of the medical stuff that we were having done as well. And I definitely intend to be getting more massages while we're here. That is a deal. And then the other thing that we really didn't get to take advantage of at all has been the pool. There's a rooftop pool. It's really cool. It's got a neat view. It has this really cool like optical illusion just because of the way that it's set up, that it looks like it just like falls off the edge of the building almost. But I don't necessarily, with my fair skin, I can't necessarily be out in a pool in direct sunlight because I will burn to a crisp. So I wasn't going to do that. I passed out every night. Like the sun would set at like 5:30 and by 6, I was asleep most days, just from sheer exhaustion until the last couple of days. And then we have just had those medical procedures. And again, swimming, not a great idea, like really not advised. So, because we've got some spots that are healing and things. So getting in to standing water like that is not the thing that you want to do. So no pool there. However, the condo that we're staying at also has a pool. So It's not like pools are off the menu. There will be swimming, I promise. I think that's all. I think that's all I have to say about the Lime. This is kind of a little open air shopping area, mall slash place right next door to the Lime. It's called Seascape Village. So I'm going to turn the camera around and show you. So my coffee that I got was from Coffee Papa. It was very good, by the way. I got an iced latte. Highly recommend. They seem to be getting set up for some music or performance over here for the evening. You can see it's all covered. Like there's a roof. There's a little like a fish market over this way. We've heard good things about it. It's all like fresh seafood. And I guess you can get it prepared. This fountain has been splashing happily behind me. You can go out that way, which I'm not going to do right now. I'm going to go back the way that I came in. But you can go out that way and it leads down to a municipal area. Although, you know what? I might go over this way just to show you the incoming storm, because you can kind of see how dark the sky is. Check this out. And then this building, I hear it used to be, at one point it was a municipal building. Most recently it was a film center. It's closed right now and it's kind of in a state of disrepair, but I've also heard that it's very haunted. I would love to learn more about that. I don't know if we'll have a chance to. It's got a really neat look to it. It also looks really spooky. Okay, so back the way I came. Hello, kitty. Are you playing with the spicy hay? I wouldn't do that, kitty. That's a fun dog. Hello. Thank you. Thank you so much. Ginger and Giant Adventures on YouTube. Thank you. So, walking here next to the bay on my way back to the hotel. One of the things that I really wasn't expecting is that there's definitely a fishy smell in the air. That's normal anytime you're close to, major bodies of water. That's not a big deal. I was surprised there's a bit of a sewagey smell. And, I did some Googling, and it's a known thing, I guess, that there's some issues with that in the area, especially here on the bay. Like, this is the bay here has a good amount of pollution, which is really sad to me. And I know it's something that just the world's waters in general are dealing with, that there's not always the regulation that needs to happen to be able to keep waters clean, and that communities, businesses are able to dump chemicals, dump untreated sewage directly into waterways. Ooh, hold on, I want to show you. I don't know how well that comes across, but just the clouds as the storm is approaching. So this is obviously our view to the west as the sun is setting, but to the east, which is where the weather comes from here, you can see the dark clouds coming in. So yeah, it's it takes a little bit of the shine off of how nice the resort is, the fact that there's the smell. But on the bright side, it is beautiful. They're getting set up for the evening, it looks like. Or maybe taking things down because they know their storm is coming in. So, going back around to the front. That's all. What was this video about? I don't know. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm going to record some more rambling stuff and have more videos for you coming soon. All right, friends. Bye.